Hey, in this video I want to talk about tone. I want to talk about bass tone specifically and the moment that I remember this topic changed for me. And I'm going to be as concise as I can be because there's so many intricacies to all of this as well. So getting into it, there was a moment that I was working on a record with my band Half Alive and we were recording bass. We were in the studio and I recorded something that I really liked and I liked the tone of it. And I didn't like how it sounded soloed. I truly thought it kind of sounded bad. It was really distorted, just too aggressive sounding for my playing style. In the mix, it cut through so well. It sounded so great in the mix. That kind of brought me on the journey that I'm trying to share a little bit with you about working on bass tone, working on tone for any instrument, but specifically bass tone and what that does when we solo it or when we think about it in the function of a band or a record or anything like that. So let's dive into it. Me playing this Nash P bass, going into a red DI, that is then going into Universal Audio's SVTR Ampeg, that then goes into LA2A compressor, like an old school compressor. Pretty light on the compression. Don't like a lot of compression on bass, but a little bit. Anyways, here it is. So it sounds nice, kind of like a vintagey kind of sound, but I like that. So I want to bring you to Logic here. I already recorded this bass line that has the clean tone as well as the more affected, distorted bass tone. I want you guys to hear the difference. Here's the track. No bass right now. Bring in the clean bass. Overdriven bass. So for me, I'm always trying to figure out how we can get the bass sound be clear. You can hear the different runs or different notes that are being played without being too loud. And I think this is a prime example of the overdriven bass cutting through a little bit cleaner. The volume's the same, but the clean bass is a little bit not muddier, but just doesn't attack in the same way and doesn't cut through in the mix as much. So remember how the bass tone will sound in the mix, not only when we're having fun playing by ourselves. Like that kind of stuff is great, but that clean bass tone doesn't always work. I'm going to put this track available so you can kind of put your own bass stuff on it and see if you have fun messing with different things. Try clean sounds and aggressive sounds and see what cuts through without turning up the volume so it's too loud, because ultimately usually a vocal's on top of this as well. So give it a shot and let me know.